wanna talk about sports. They need a resource where they can come talk about sports. They really be talk, but we know the facts. Stacks, yeah, that's where it's at. We the hottest on the map. And this is our take on. This is our take on. Yeah, they need a resource. We got you, just make up the choice. Who out here making that noise? This our take on sports. This is our take on. This is our take on. This is our take on. This is our take on sports.
Was good with it. Go ahead and bring us in.
What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in. He is your host, Mr. MP80Baby.
And you know that's your host right there, Mr. GPG.
And welcome to
Our Take on Sports.
On this podcast, man, we keep you updated with all the hottest sports information, everything that's going on in the sports world. We never waste no time on this show, and we sure ain't gonna start doing it right now. We're gonna dive right into some big college news, man. We got Coach Prime, got his boys eligible for a bowl game. Now, we all know that MP is the college guru on this show. He's the man that breaks it all down, keep you updated with all the information that's going on in the college world. MP, give it to him, dog.
Yeah, man. It was a big win for Colorado this week. They actually, for the first time in a long time, definitely has made bowl eligible, recognizable in Colorado, out there in Colorado, Buffalo. And I'm proud of him. I'm very much proud of Prime. He got those boys playing up to the height. He got that boy playing both sides of the ball. The boy should Heisman all the way. Heisman. I don't think nobody's close to him. I'm excited to see what they do. I'm excited to see how far they go. They only have 2 losses. So they're in great position right now. They won this week against Cincinnati 23-34. And Travis Hunter, he was out there balling. Sanders had a pair of touchdown passes. And Hunter did run for a score to help Colorado become bowl eligible this last Saturday. So you got anything to say about that, about big time Prime coming from Jackson State, from an HBCU, and coming on over to the Big 12 and wreaking havoc over there? He's doing everything he said he was going to do last year.
Man, I'm a big Coach Prime fan. I watched him when he was at Florida State in his college career. I watched him to the NFL, playing for Atlanta, and then going out there playing for San Francisco, even playing for them Cowboys. I watched Coach Prime his whole career, and then for him to go ahead and take the job at Jackson State to coach them boys, coach his sons. And now what he's doing in Colorado for them Bulldogs, man, and got them bowl eligible when a lot of big time college analysis was saying that he wasn't going to do anything, that Coach Prime was just all talk, and that, it was just a flashy show, and him with the glasses on and being who he was. And for him to turn that program around, actually got them boys playing much better than they played last year, man. Last year they had their struggles. They couldn't stop nobody. Shador was getting beat up. He got sacked so many times. The boy's life was in danger, man. So for them to turn that around this year, they're protecting them. For them to get some big wins, only have the 2 losses that you mentioned. I'm proud of Coach Prime, man. I'm a big Coach Prime fan. I'm going to continue to be a Colorado fan because of him and the success that he's bringing to that program. I love it, man. I love it. Go Coach Prime.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, Shador Sanders did. He threw 30 passes. He completed 25 of them. Outstanding. He threw for 323 yards. Like I said, he had a pair of 2 touchdowns. And your boy Travis Hunter, he caught 9 catches for 153 yards. and that's just on one side of the ball. So I'm in agreement with you, Mr. GPG. I'm so happy. I'm so, you know, I love this for Colorado and Coach Prime. Coach Prime and his boys mainly, but I love that he was able to go to a program that wasn't doing good, that had only won 1 or 2 games prior to him getting into the program. And yeah, like you said, he did fall short a little bit last year, but who's not? That was his first season, trying to get equipped, trying to get his staff in order. And I believe that he did a great job. He brought in people that he believed in, people that he played with, and he know what they bring on the field and off the field. And I believe that had a lot to do with their success this year.
I agree with you, man. I'm happy for Coach Prime and the Colorado Bulldogs, man. I love Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter, that, you know, offensive, defensive player, man. He's doing it on both sides of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Can't mention it. You said it better. I can't say anything better than what you said, man. I'm happy for Colorado.
Yep. So I'm gonna move into the one other game we're gonna talk about in college, and that was, you guys know, on my last tape that we spoke in on college. We spoke highly on Navy and Army. They was both ranked military school programs, both undefeated. And it hadn't been like that in years. Navy did drop their first L. They dropped to the Irish 51-14. The Irish knocked the aerophone right out. I mean, what can I say? I wanted to hype them up. I wanted to see Navy do some stuff. But, I mean, again, I spoke on these programs being in different conferences, and the different conference play, it shows.
Notre Dame came out there, man, and they just stomped them, man. Just did whatever they wanted to do. They ran up and down the field. Defense played ball. Offense couldn't be stopped. It looked bad for them, for Navy, man. I expected more, we were hoping for more, because, we want to give our armed forces, that recognition and love that they deserve, instead of just talking about the same teams all the time. The most popular name teams, man. Army and Navy got some boys that played. They just didn't show up.
They did.
Against Notre Dame, man. They just didn't show up, man. Big win for the Irish. That's all I can really say about that, man. Try again this week.
Yeah. The moment was big. The moment was too big for Navy.
Yeah.
Even though they were at home, I believe I spoke on it. They played at MetLife Stadium. So I don't know, how that goes, but big ups at Navy and Army for the season that they have put on. They're both bowl eligible. No matter what happens the remainder of the season, they're both bowl eligible. I'm looking forward to seeing what the remainder of the season holds for them as well. But we can dive right on up into this NFL, because I know that's what everybody's waiting on. Go ahead and break us down how we're going to break this down, Mr. GPG.
Well, we're going to start off with our games,
okay.
Because this is what we're going to do. We're going to start off with our games, and we're going to dive right into Atlanta and Tampa Bay. Now, Atlanta went back down there and did exactly what they're supposed to do, and defeated the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. MP, that's your boys. How proud of you?
Man, I'm happy about the win. It was a couple things that happened within the game that I wasn't too proud of. But overall, a dub is a dub. Kyle Pitts, he's irking my nerves, though. Kyle Pitts is irking my nerves. We allowed the game to be closer than what it should have been. And I'm just seeing Kyle Pitts is not giving his all on plays. And he had a scoring play. He was the first one Kirk got out to. Yesterday was tight ends national tight ends day. Mm-hmm. And Pitts he did his thing, touchdown, boom, running in for another touchdown. First time this season he would, so this was his first multiple scoring game. And on his second score, he almost gave up on the play as he was crossing the pylon. And it irks me. He left the ball behind him. And Tampa Bay defender, I can't remember exactly who it was, but he came and swiped the ball right out of his head I believe if they had another angle of it, that would have been a safety. I really do. Cool, our kicker, missing field goals. Each week he's missing field goals. There's something off with that. Our defense did just enough with the turnovers. They was able to force like 3 turnovers, 2 interceptions, a forced fumble. They did get a forced fumble in the first quarter to go ahead and score first. But you know, overall, we still not sacking the quarterback. I watched Baker Mayfield break out for a big yard run. And it just kind of disgusts me. I mean, it's just too much of a nail biter. Even though we did win 31-26, we did take control over our division. That does kind of make everything else go down a lot easier. Kirk Cousins did throw for 4 touchdowns, 276 yards. And, you know, hey, without Kirk, we would be in the same position we was last year. We just had somebody that had know how to manage the clock, manage his line, the players, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, you see the big difference. It's just, you know, time management is everything. You see the big difference. So big up to Kirk. Like I said, Kyle Pitts did have a big game, but he kind of irked me with some stuff that I just feel that he can definitely do better on. And he did set out like a series after that. Coaches had to get up in his ear. And I love that because we do have a defensive coach and Morris. And no, we don't, because that could have cost us a game. It was early in the game, but all points count. All points. We need all points.
Y'all did what you're supposed to do, especially with Tampa Bay being without their 2-star wide receivers. A little closer than I expected. You know, but you know, Baker is he's a fighter. Everybody, you might not like Baker, you know, but the one thing he's gonna do, he's gonna go down swinging.
Yeah.
He's just that type of dude. He did have the 2 interceptions, but your boy Jesse Bates, that boy balled, man.
And so cold, man, with no Simmons out there.
I don't know where Tampa Bay actually goes from here. You know, looks like they ain't getting their receiver, Mike Evans, back no time soon, and Godwin's gone for the year. So we'll see if they can even try to, you know, hold on and make it into a wild card position. But everybody knows Atlanta, for the most part, going to take that division. You know, I'm going to give it up for them.
Yeah. Already running through all 3 teams in our division and having a back-to-back win against those Tampa Bay Bucks makes our division look a whole lot, you know what I'm saying, smaller, just for the Falcons to fit in. And I don't believe nobody else, unless, and the Saints, what, 2-5? I don't see nobody else making a wild card push in the you know, out of our division. So it's a lot.
It's even going to be hard for Tampa Bay because of how the other divisions records are with the
That's
NFC.
what I was about to say. Yep.
You know, so,
but you guys in your division,
you might just get one team to come out of that whole division. Yep. That'd be the NFC.
The winner of the division. Yep. And I say that because looking at you guys, and we're finna get into your game. Looking at that division over there, you guys winning. I believe Minnesota losing. Or Chicago losing. That's what it was. Chicago losing, you guys winning. That just pushed y'all right into second. What is it? Second place?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're in second right now. So we'll dive right into that one.
Dive right on into it. Let's get it.
Led into it. Green Bay Packers, you know, we upset the Jacksonville Jaguars. But if you paid attention to the last show, I told you that this wasn't going to be no easy game, that I was a little bit worried because of the trap game, because even though Trevor Lawrence's record now was what it is, they had like a 2-5 record or something like that, 2-4 record going into yesterday, whatever. It wasn't a winning record. They're better than their record is. Trevor Lawrence is better than what that team is better than what they've been playing. So we did end up getting that victory. Key points. You know, we lost Jordan, quad injury. He's going to be out, you know, next week for the Detroit game, I'm sure. And then we got a bye after that. So hopefully we can get him back, you know, for the second half of the regular season. My biggest concern, out of that game was the injury to Jair Alexander.
Yeah.
If anybody paid attention on that last play, man, he came up hobbled. And that worries me more than the Jordan Love injury, just because of the way Malik Willis is playing. I like the way Malik Willis is playing. I'm not saying he's our future. Don't get me all twisted and all that. But what I am saying is the dude, with his ability to run and extend plays, it makes everything a little easier because my receivers are still moving. They're still moving. And then he can find them. He's coming through in big, crucial situations like that play down the sideline to Jaden Reed. That was crucial to get us in the field goal range to win that game yesterday. So I like the way Malik Willis can do it. I feel confident in my backup right now. I'm more concerned with Jair Alexander, like I said, because of that injury. Going up against Detroit next week, we're going to need all our defense, on deck. So I'm hoping he's able to come back and make it for that game. But big ups to my boys, man. We went down to Florida and we took care of business like I said we would.
Yeah, y'all looked good overall. It definitely was closer than what I thought it was in this game as well. It was a nail biter in you guys' game as well. But like I said, Willis came in and he took command of that offense. Like I said before, I mean, no love or love, whichever one y'all show, y'all defense still playing at a high level. What I can say is that you guys as Coach Matt, do have a high level of concern with this injury than what he did with when Jordan Love went down and with his sprained left knee previously. So it will be something that you need to monitor and at least to go, that come ahead on what is to come with Jordan Love, because as much as I like Willis, you're going to need Love for the playoffs. You guys' division is too damn tough. And Absolutely. As much as I love Willis, I watched the kid play out in Tennessee and all that. And, he's playing way better in Green Bay, but I know that it's the scheme, the coaching scheme that they got dialed up for him and everything. So that is something that we need to pay attention going forward with you guys. But overall, I mean, you can't be mad. I mean, your boy, Josh Jacobs, I think he had a hiccup later in the game or something. Then he had a little injured, some type of tweak or something, I think. I saw him hobbling at some point in the game, but he did carry the ball for 25 times, 127 yards. So he looked good, 2 touchdowns. I mean, man, come on, man. 5.1 yards a carry.
Well, that's the reason why he's probably a little hobbled, man. I expect him to be okay, man. Josh, I said, if you lost the show, I said, Josh, this was going to be a Josh Jacobs game. Carrying the ball 25 times and then catching it a few times out the backfield. Yeah, we used him yesterday, so I ain't surprised he was a little banged up. But this football, man, everybody's hurt. If you ain't injured, I expect you to be back out there on the field. You know what I mean? So, okay. But we'll move on, man. We got a bunch of other games to get into. You know what I mean? I want to get your opinion on the rest of these. Is the loss to the Browns a big deal, or is it no big deal for the Baltimore Ravens, man? What's going on with the Ravens?
Everything that I told you. This is your sleeper team right here because of King Henry and all that good stuff, and I feel you. But I also my concern was, again, we have watched them put so many pieces around Lamar Jackson, so much good talent. And this is with the same stuff we get every season. They losing to these trap games, teams that have no business beating them. Have no business. They have a serious problem on defense. They have a serious problem on defense. They are always looking for Lamar Jackson to save them. And that is the issue. Yes, they have a problem out there in Baltimore. Yes.
So this is a big deal. I agree with you. For a lot of the reasons that you said. Their defense is not playing good at all. I don't know what's going on, man. This is not the Baltimore Ravens defense that we are accustomed to seeing, man. Now, I ain't saying that they got to be Ray Lewis and Rod Woodson and all them cats, and Tony Saragusa from back in early 2000s. But dang, This is ridiculous, man. They're giving up points, and I know Kyle Hamilton was out. You can't just use the injuries as an excuse. I'm starting to wonder if it's starting to be coaching, man. To be honest with you, I'm just starting to wonder that. I know John Harbaugh won his Super Bowl championship, with the Ravens and take his team to the playoffs, more than not. I get all that, man. But for some strange reason, I don't understand what's going on when you got a back in your backfield like King Henry and he gets the ball 11 times, and you're not using him nearly like you're supposed to be using him. You stop him on first down, the first thing you do is bring Justin Hill in, and then you drop Lamar back. I mean, what's your identity? Are you a passing team? Are you a running team? What is your identity, man? I don't know what's going on with the Baltimore Ravens, nephew. It's crazy, man. It's crazy, man. So,
yeah. Well, I mean, Lamar Jackson did throw for 2 touchdowns, but again, most of them, I think them came to his tight ends, which it was National Tight End Day. But Henry, like you said, he only carried the ball 11 times for 73 yards, 1 touchdown. And Zay Flowers got 7 receptions for 115 yards, no touchdowns. So, yeah, it is a problem. You let somebody like Jameson Winston come in and do you like that, and Deshaun Watson hadn't done nothing all season. You let Jameson Winston come in and throw over 300 yards on you. 3 touchdowns. That's a problem.
It is. It is a problem, man. We'll move on, man. They gonna have some work to do out there to get that thing corrected, man. But we got other teams, man, that's also going through some things, man. Is the season over for the Jets, man? I mean, and who is to blame for the Jets? The New York Jets lost to the New England Patriots yesterday. Oh, my goodness, man. What happened to the Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers connection? It was all going to be fantastic. Everything was going to work out. Brees Hall's going to be able to run because now they're going to have to respect the pass. The defense is going to start playing up the par. Got rid of Robert Saleh. Can't blame him no more for this. What's going on, man, with the Jets? Is their season over, and who is to blame for the Jets' failures?
Well, truth be told, it's the overseers over there in that Jets organization. I told you when they fired their coach, which I believe you guys have him on your coaching staff now. And it'd be so funny that you guys go to the Super Bowl with him. And, it's so funny. But anyway, the Jets season was over with when they got rid of their coach. The season was over with before they brought in Devontae. They was already 4 losses in. You can't sit here and tell me you thought they was just going to run the table. Nobody in the world thought they was going to run the table for 13 games. So, yeah, having 6 losses already within the season, they're over with. Devontae, all this was for show. Their problem is they got too many old players on offense. You can't bring a whole roster from another team that couldn't get it together to another team thinking they're going to get it together over there. You spoke on that before. Devontae don't lost a step since him and Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, 40 years old. He'll be 41 going into next season. What are we doing? They don't have a line. Yes, this season is over with. Aaron Rodgers' career he might well get ready for the Hall of Fame because that's the only next big accolade that he would get from the NFL besides getting you guys his Ring of Honor. Other than that, yeah, this season is over with.
I completely agree with you. I completely agree with you. And I said it like you said on the last show or one of the shows we did before. I can't remember. But I definitely said it, man. Bringing Devontae Adams in does not fix your problems, okay? There are too many other problems for this team. And personally, they're just the Jets, man. That's just the Jets. That they're not going anywhere. They ain't been nowhere in years, and they not going nowhere just because you grab a 40-year-old quarterback, man. You still got to have pieces and players around them, and these guys, man, are just not playing over. They're not playing worth anything right now. The Jets are trash. 2-5 right now. Their record is over with. 2-6, 2-6, or whatever. 2-5, 2-6, whatever. It don't matter. The season is over for them. And I blame Aaron Rodgers. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's who I blame, and you have to. because you can't blame Robert Saleh. You can't blame Nathaniel Hackett because you demoted him. You can't blame the owner because he gave you everything that you asked for. You asked for Alan Lazard. He gave you. Don't forget he wanted Randall Cobb last year. Got Randall Cobb last year. Didn't like the way Randall Cobb was playing, so you got rid of him. You brought in Devontae Adams. Well, I mean, and it still ain't working. So I'm blaming Aaron Rodgers. You are the quarterback. You got everything you wanted, and you got rid of the coach because whatever reason. And so now it's all on your shoulders, and you got 2 losses after that. So your season's over. Like he said, MP told you, get ready for the Hall of Fame, big dog. That game is over with, man. We're going to move on, man. We got another game, man. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles walk right in to Cincinnati and beat the Cincinnati Bengals. And I don't know what's going on with Joe Burrow and that offense. And when I told you on the last show that the Cincinnati Bengals defense can't stop a nosebleed, and they couldn't do it last night, Jalen Hurts ended up having a great game, and Saquon doing exactly what Saquon doing. The receivers are catching, and the Eagles are starting to look good. Tell them about that game.
Yeah, I mean, Saquon Barkley, he rushed for over 100 yards, no touchdowns, but he did carry the ball 22 times. That was a good game. I mean, it seems like they're getting back on their high horse, finding their identity. Again, they did have some injuries early in the season, so that's understandable, but it's still a 50, 60-man roster. So, I mean, again, a lot of these gyms have to prepare for that. I mean, you bring in these superstars and you don't have nobody to cope with them behind, if something do happen. So, but it is good, I mean, to see, Philly trying to get it together. The Bengals, Cincinnati, I just don't know. They have spent all, disconnection between him and Jamar Chase it's just not happening. It's just not happening for some reason. It looks forced. And I believe that's mainly their problem. And they really can't stop nobody. They haven't had a defense since they went to the Super Bowl. So their problem is bigger than what we can even probably discuss all in this one small take. But yeah, the Bengals season is over with. And it's bigger than Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow beat Patrick Mahomes in an AFC Championship game one time and took him to the Super Bowl. And I swear to God, everybody thinks that Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals are just the greatest team in the AFC North. And they're just not, man. They haven't been good since they did what they did. Okay, you got Patrick Mahomes. Okay, you beat him that time. Other than that, man, Joe Burrow, I mean, you're always hurt. You can't, you miss time, then you come back, and then you miss time, then you come back, and everybody they pretty much just want to crown Cincinnati. Like they start off losing every single season. And everybody, they're still going to be fine. The Cincinnati Bengals, they're still going to make the playoffs, man. Joe Burrow, man, and this and that, man. He's a great quarterback, and he's still going to guide them to this. No. They're getting exactly what it is with them, man. Everybody thinks Joe Burrow it can just turn it up a notch and then elevate this team and put them in the playoffs as long as he's healthy. No, I don't care about that. I'm really upset with Cincinnati anyway, just because how they're doing their receivers. Jamar Chase is one of the best players in the game, and he ain't making more money than Bobby Bonilla. I read that. I couldn't believe it. Bobby Bonilla, the ex-baseball player to play for the Mets. Jamar Chase is making less money than him? That's ridiculous. And then you got T. Higgins that's out there, man, and this dude has been performing. There's been a great receiving core since they got to Cincinnati, and they made Joe Burrow look good. I mean, if them boys ain't on the field, Joe Burrow looks like trash. So Cincinnati is not making the playoffs. They're done. I'm tired of people talking about them. They can forget about it. Baltimore is going to win that division, and that's going to be it for that, man. Cleveland's not going to win that division. I don't care if Cleveland won yesterday. Everybody know Cleveland ain't going to win that division. Everybody know Baltimore's going to win that division. And I hope Cincinnati don't even make the playoffs.
Yeah. And before we move on, one thing I want to say: if you're not playing your elite players, you got rid of Joe Mixon. If you're not paying your elite wide receiver crew, who are you paying? You don't have a line. Who are you paying? Where the money going to? So again, this is a GM problem to me. It's bigger than Joe Burrow. It's same thing that we just talked about with Aaron Rodgers. The GM is the whole GM. You're allowing people to have too much power. So no, they won't make the playoffs, and I don't see them making it next year. It's something they're going to have to break that whole team down and restructure. So we'll go on to the next.
Commanders beat the Chicago Bears 18-15. And I know you saw the end of that game. I know you saw the end of that game. They lost on a Hail Mary from Jaden Daniels, and your boy, Mr. Tyreek Stevenson, was celebrating out there, talking to the crowd, waving to the crowd, giving it up for his girl that he probably brought down to Washington for the game. And the play was still going on. Tell me you saw what them boys did.
Oh, you know, I watched it. I watched it. I was sitting there glued to it, and I just couldn't believe. First off, it was a great game. I love to see, you know, the number 1 and the number 2 pick in this year's draft go head to head. 2 black quarterbacks, and they lived up to the hype. The defense played behind them. So yeah, but you're right. I did watch that. He thought the game was over. Chicago felt like they did enough. And I also watched, I don't know if you caught it, but I also watched the disgustness that just went over Caleb Williams' face after that Hail Mary play that Daniels threw up into the, and he had all day to sit back there before he threw the ball. He ran from sideline to sideline. He ran back to his end zone, back to the line of scrimmage, and then threw the ball.
He's gotten hit throughout the rest of the game, and it's hurting more now.
Comes down to one last play, and it's going to be getting longer by the second. You're all the way back at the 30-yard line. Now you can step into it. Here comes the Hail Mary with the game on the line, and the ball is caught! Caught! It's a miracle! It's Noah Brown! Oh my goodness! This town is going crazy! It's a madhouse in Landover, Maryland!
He did it!
Oh, this one will be paid back over and over again for decades. The ball tipped by Stevenson. Noah Brown just standing back there all alone, plucks it out of the air for the victory.
I know this sounds crazy, but there's a method to the madness here. Everyone usually goes and jumps to the ball. You always put one guy behind and try and put one in front and have 2 or 3 go jump for it. And Daniels extending this play, and the time allowed everyone to get down there in position to go toward the ball and be in their spots. And what a game, Jim.
The coach said that the play before the Hail Mary, they weren't even worried about guarding the sidelines. So let's look at this. Let's look at a little bit about how that play went down, okay? Jaden Daniels was at the 30, 35-yard line, and then all of a sudden you get a 13-yard out route. So now you're close to the 50, which actually will give him a little bit more, makes him closer to even get the ball down to the end zone. If you're guarding the sidelines and don't let that out route happen, he can't get the ball to the end zone. So the coach completely blew how they executed that Hail Mary and the play before the Hail Mary. Because that was just as important as the Hail Mary. Because without that 13-yard out route with 2 seconds left on the clock, he don't even get the ball down to the end zone. That don't even happen. Number 1. Number 2, you got how many coaches on the sideline? Is anybody watching your man celebrate? 2 plays, not just the Hail Mary, 2 plays. He's celebrating, looking at the crowd when the out route is happening. He ain't even looking at the play. And then when the Hail Mary is happening, he's celebrating 4 seconds while the play is going on. These guys have ran 40 yards down the field. Then he goes over And he's the one that instead of tipping the ball down, he tips it up back to the dude that catches the ball. Man, you can't make this stuff up.
And look, and not just that, he didn't even have the position. He wasn't even in position to actually get the ball. It was a player, and I want to run this tape. I want to run the replay, and I may run this replay. But if I ran the replay, you will clearly see that he came all the way over. He came all the way over to knock his player out of position that was in position to knock it down. And he was gonna knock it down. First off, we all know since Pee Wee ball that if you can't knock that ball down, don't touch it at all. Because anything that you're doing, you're knocking it up. It's a tip drill. That's all you're doing. He didn't even look like, if you go back and look at the replay, it looked like he was trying to do a one-hand catch, like the Odell Beckham. He looked like he was trying to do a one-hand catch. He actually squeezed the ball. He actually did like this. He actually did like this. And yeah, he came over trying to be the hero, number 28. I'm calling your number out.
29.
29. You're not, I know you, everything about it. You went to the locker room, did nobody sit by you. Your clothes was probably thrown in the trash, all type of stuff. You might not even have a place on the roster come next week. So come on, man. Come on, man. Who cares about your woman in the stands? Ain't nobody come to see your family. But who you celebrating with? Who you celebrating with?
That's the NFL, man. That's the new NFL, man. They want to celebrate before the game is over. They want to celebrate everything, man. Ain't no more Barry Sanders in the NFL where you just score a touchdown and you hand it to the official and then you go on. You act like you've been there before. Them dudes ain't there no more, man. Just look, it's the series before that, there was a fumble. Caleb Williams tried to hand it off to some big offensive lineman. I guess they was trying some refrigerator Perry play. I don't know. And the dude fumbled. Washington recovered it and picked it up and ran all the way down to the other end of the field to celebrate. That's what they did. I'm like, dang. I mean, I understand you're happy and all this stuff, man. What happened to giving your players time? They ran, the whole team ran all the way down to the other end zone to do this to the crowd and celebrate and all this. Dang, that's the new NFL, man. They want to celebrate everything. And the problem is this dude starts celebrating and the game wasn't even over. I'm happy. Thank you, Mr. Tyree.
I know you happy. I said that. I said, man, I know my uncle. I was surprised you didn't call me yesterday. I said, oh, I know he had, especially with the win that you guys had just had. I said, oh, Mr. GPG, he's up through there. They gave Jaden Daniels 15 seconds to throw that ball. He's going to score. You 15. He's going to score. He's going to score.
There's a spy. There's a spy that's spying him. What you thought he was going to do? Try to take off and run? Why you didn't come and get him, yo? What are you going to do? Run for 50, 60 yards for the touchdown? The only thing that's going to beat you is the Hail Mary. So you just sitting there mirroring him like, if you come close to me, I'm gonna tackle you. No, I'm going to stand back here and wait for my boys to get all the way down to the end zone, and then I'm going to throw this Hail Mary. So the linebacker that was mirroring him should have actually been blitzing him. Mm-hmm. So whatever.
Big up to Noah Brown. I'm happy to see that you found the home out there and watched the Commanders, Noah Brown. Big catch to give you guys that go-ahead win, Washington Commanders. They move on to 6-2. Chicago falls to 4-3.
We're going to move on to the next game, man. Last night's game, we're going to dive right into it, man. The San Francisco 49ers defeated the Cowboys again. We picked the 49ers, both of us on the show last time, because we both said we have no confidence in Dak. We can't pick Dak Prescott because he can't seem to get over the hump with the 49ers. And last night he couldn't do it again. And I actually was up late watching this game because they started making a little run, and I was like, okay, Dallas might have a chance. Then they get the ball with the chance to take the lead, and they can't even get a yard. Tell me about that, man. You watched the end of that game?
Yeah, I watched that. I watched Sunday Night Football, and it was looking horrible at first. Like you said, Dallas did rally back with CD Lamb and Dak trying to make a little connection, and whatnot. But it was just too much Brock Purdy. Purdy was being Purdy, with a hurt squad that he has. I'm happy for the 49ers. I really am low, way down at the bottom of the pit of my stomach, felt that Dallas had a shot. But then I just remembered that we was giving them CPR early within the season already. So I knew they was gonna run out of gas. I said, I need this team to play like this next week, since they are coming down to these to see these Atlanta Falcons. But just to tell her to take a little bit, Brock Purdy, he did throw. Let's see, Brock Purdy put the Niners there. They bounced back to 4-4, so they're finally back at 500. And again, they are hurt. They're hurt. But I mean, Purdy threw for a touchdown pass, and he ran for one. Something that you would have thought Dak would have did. It's something going on with that connection with Dak and CD Lamb. They really need another wide receiver. They need another wide receiver.
That's their problem. That's their problem right there. It ain't nobody over there but Dak and CD. And Ezekiel Elliott is not running over and doing that.
Nobody's scared of him.
Starving sign like he did years ago. Them days are over with. Dalvin Cook, his first game back. He played last night, and he ain't doing that stuff like he was doing in Minnesota. Brock Purdy had more rushing yards, or the same amount of rushing yards, as the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Think about that for a second. The Brock Purdy, the quarterback of the 49ers, had the same amount of rushing yards as the entire Cowboys team. That is not good. That is unacceptable. If you're the Cowboys, they're dead last in everything, yo. Stopping the run, running the ball. They can't do nothing right. Nothing, man. I don't understand what's going on with them. The 49ers did what they're supposed to do to a wounded, beat-up Cowboys team that ain't going nowhere. That just did nothing but get more expensive. All they did was keep everything the same, but paid their players more money. You didn't make no changes. The Cowboys didn't add nobody. All they did was pay Dak more money and CD more money, and you're getting worse results than you had last year. They're done, man. So the Cowboys are done. The 49ers look like they're gonna start getting a little stronger, and that leads us right into our next topic with the Arizona Cardinals and being in that division. I want to know who wins that division. Now, the Arizona Cardinals defeated the Miami Dolphins yesterday by 1 point. I told you that was going to be a team that you have to look out for, and they're coming up, and they're leading that division right now. Who would have thought that the Arizona Cardinals will be leading that division after 8 weeks, man? Did you happen to catch any of that game with them and the Dolphins?
Oh yeah, I caught some of that game, and I just remember the take that we had, and I was just like, the kid is too small. And then it's just like I'm watching my son hit the corner and just running up the field, and I'm like, where's Miami at? I'm like, that look like my son out there. But I have to give it to him. I mean, his IQ for the game, the style play that he brings to the table is better than what I maybe give him credit for. I still feel like it's a lot of work that he can do. They look different when he is hitting Marvin Harrison Jr. And I cannot stress that to you Arizona Cardinals. Dial up to your boy Murray and let him know, bro, you got some elite talent out there. Stop trying to use your legs on every play. He's quick, he's nimble, but even the quickest sometimes gets stick. And we know that he's just coming off a big injury from last year. We don't need you running all over the place. Throw it to these rookies that you got that y'all, you know what I'm saying, that was in the college league last year that was tearing it up. And you saw as soon as he started throwing the ball, housing the ball down to Marvin Harrison, they looked it different. I can't stress that no more than what I've been stressing. Tula did look good. Miami looked it phenomenal with Tula coming back in his first game. But of course, like I have to agree with you, Kyler Murray, he did what he was supposed to do. No, I didn't give them in the beginning of the season no chances of winning this division or even leading it at any point. But I also didn't foresee the 49ers starting the season hurt neither. But it'll be interesting to see who will keep this trend going. To me, right now, it will be a toss-up between 49ers and Arizona Cardinals. So big up to Kyle Murray. They did get the win, at the end, 28-27. It was close. Tula wanted that win, and I know Tyreek Hill wanted that win too. He got his boy back. I told y'all he was happy. He was fired up. He dialed up the guy and said thank you, and it just didn't work out for him. So what's your take? What you think?
The Arizona Cardinals are a dangerous team. They're a dangerous team, man. I got to give it up for, the way they're playing, the style they're playing, I had a conversation with a guy, back, and he, was Kyler Murray a top 10 quarterback, and at the time he wasn't. But I remember when he did have DeAndre Hopkins and he had some weapons out there that he looked good, man. He started out one season 8-0. So they did lose to them Packer boys. Then everything kind of went down, with DeAndre Hopkins and stuff like that, and then his injuries. But right now he's playing good ball, man. I think that they're a sleeper team, but I think there's one team that you cannot forget over there in that division. I think that's the Rams.
Oh, the Rams. No, they are healthy and they look good. They did. So you're right. I mean, that division is tight. I believe all of them was within, they're all tied up except for the Rams. I believe the Rams maybe one game behind Arizona. Who else all over there? What's that? Arizona, San Fran, Seattle, the Rams. So they're all neck and neck. That's going to be really interesting to see how that plays out.
With Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp coming back, with them being able to run the ball with Kyron Williams and Stafford being probably one of the most accurate quarterbacks in football, you better watch out for the Rams. That division, if they don't hurry up and get Christian McCaffrey back and try to because the 49ers didn't look good in the first half.
They did.
They looked terrible in the first half, man. I mean, George Kittle basically saved them and bailed them out too. He had a big game on National Tight Ends Day. But they didn't look good to start that game. So you better watch out, man. That division is getting tough, man. Arizona is right there. The Rams is a really, really good team. And the 49ers ain't healthy. So
one thing I want to say is
come out that division and make it to the playoffs.
Arizona, they are winning in the divisional play. They 2-0 in their divisional play. So that is something to watch out with. The Rams, the only thing about the Rams, and even though they're getting healthy again, they haven't won a divisional game. They're 0-3. So, we know how the divisional play go. Like, if you can't beat the teams in your division, it don't matter what the rest of the record look like. So that's the only thing that I can say about the Rams. They are looking like they're starting to trend that way, but they haven't won anything in the division as of matter of fact, they're one their division play is 1-1. I thought they was 0-2, but they're 1-1. Seattle was 0-1, San Fran 1-2. And Arizona, man, I got to give it up to y'all out there. Y'all are 2-0 in y'all divisional play. So keep playing like that, Murray. You gonna maybe eat everything I done said about you. I still don't think you're a top 10 quarterback, but I believe that you're within the top 15. And you definitely showed me some of that flashes of that Sunday. So again, Arizona, dial up to him. Tell him to get the ball down to Marvin Harrison, man, because the boy's bad. He cold.
All right. Well, yeah, we're gonna move on, man. We got another couple games we're gonna dive into, man. The Denver Broncos. Are the Denver Broncos on a rise in the AFC West? I mean, they're second in their division behind the Kansas City Chiefs. And that boy Bo Nix, man, he's starting to play some ball over there, out there in Mile High City, man. What you think about what the Broncos are doing now? What they did to that Carolina Panthers yesterday?
I love it. He put up 21 points in the second quarter. I love it. He threw for 3 touchdowns. I love it. Bo Nix was good in college. I knew he was going to be great getting behind Sean Payton. I love it. I love this for that organization and finally showing, hey, hey, Russell might not have been the guy. That's fine. We're going to bring in somebody who fits the scheme. And that's just what it is. Sometimes it's the scheme, it's the program. It's, what I'm saying, that you got to, find yourself in to be favorable in this dang on profession, what I'm saying? And that's in all professional sports, But I mean, let's keep it 100 though, Mr. GPG. They were playing those sorry Carolina Panthers. And anybody from North Carolina or South Carolina, I mean, forgive me, but I got to keep this thing all the way thrilled. Bryce Young came back. I don't understand. Bryce, I sit him down, let him learn the system a little bit more. But he did continue to get out there and throw interceptions. He did throw 2 interceptions. He did throw 2 touchdowns, but he did throw 2 interceptions. He threw for 224 yards on 37 passes. But Bo Nix, he threw 284. He threw 3 touchdowns, and he had a nice Sutton coming in, and he was catching everything. I was mad that I think I picked up Sutton off of in my fantasy league off the waiver wires. It didn't even start him, and he had a big game. 8 catches for 100 yards, no touchdowns. But I mean, man, you can't ask no more than that from your rookie quarterback coming in and getting the ball to your playmakers.
The boy is doing exactly what Sean Payton has asked him to do. He is not making the mistakes. He's not turning the ball over. He's extending plays with his legs. He's hitting his receivers in stride. Javonte Williams is doing what he's supposed to do back there, running the ball real hard. They got a nice little squad over there, man. They play hard. They picked up Sean Payton's identity where they come in and they're physical. And the Denver Broncos are a threat over there, man. I don't know how far that team is going to go in the playoffs, because, of course, with Kansas City being the top dog over there in the NFL and especially in their division, they'll end up, the only way they can do anything is if they slide in and get a wild card spot. But with how the things are playing out in the AFC, you don't know. Buffalo look like they might be, taking their division. So, but you don't got too many other teams in there to worry about. So you might end up getting a wild card spot. Pittsburgh and Baltimore, Pittsburgh and Baltimore in that division, they're playing pretty good ball. So you can expect probably those two to come up out of that division. So, but then there still leaves you the 2 more wild card spots. So, Denver, if you keep playing ball, you can find yourself getting into the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And once you get into the dance, it's anybody's ball game. Mm-hmm. So, it's any given Sunday once you get into the playoffs. So, Denver Broncos, big ups for you guys, man. I know one of my good friends, man, he loved them Broncos. Shout out to him, and we'll see how far they go, man. Well, we got to get into this last football topic, though, man, the last one. Anthony Richardson.
That Richardson did much better in the second half because in the first, he passed for 81 yards. Richardson is a big play hunter. He gets all of his yards. He had one of the worst reasons for taking himself out of a play in the third quarter. I've seen players get hurt, need a minute, but Richardson, his response was he was just tired. That was a lot of running right there that I did, so I just told Shane I need a break.
That was a lot of running right there that I did, and I don't think I was going to be able to go that next play, so I just...
I get it, football is a tiring sport, but Richardson is a 22-year-old professional athlete. You gotta find a way, especially where so many people are saying...
He tapped out, man. He tapped out the game because he was tired. Nephew, he tapped out the game because he was tired. I know you saw that.
I saw it. I was disgusted. You You're not in Little League, man. This ain't Little League. You ain't take no plays out in college. I know you didn't take none out when you was in high school. So you're gonna get to this level and you got all these role models that you got all these little kids that's looking up to you as a role model. And this is what you showed them. You got all this talent around you. You got Jonathan Taylor back. You got Downs out there, you know what I'm saying, running all over the place down the field that you could throw to. Stop running. Stop running. If you're tired, stop running or condition correct. What's the problem? No, I know I'm not excited. I'm disgusted. I'm very disgusted about some of the play that we seeing these professionals do. I just talked about Kyle Pitts giving up on plays and stuff. And I'm disgusted what's going on. I think I talked about it. Is the league paying these guys way too much coming straight in from college? Because apparently they're not taking this seriously. He's giving me Andrew Luck vibes. I don't think he want to really play. And then for you to jump on social media after the game and troll your own self is an issue.
For him to get up and say what he said in front of the media when he said it, I was tired. You said that? Man, you'd have been better off making up a lie and saying I tweaked something or I felt a little pulled or something or anything. Anything. But to sit there and say you tired when you got 350-pound linemen out there blocking for you that's been out there fighting and scraping and all this, and they ain't taking no breaks. They ain't taking no breaks unless they injured, unless they have to. They ain't coming out the game. You don't see nobody else doing that. How old is Anthony Richardson? 22, 23 years old? He's a young boy. And you are talking about you tired? I can't believe you did that, young man.
You only completed 10 of your passes. You only completed 10 of your passes. What are we talking about? I don't even feel this guy, and I talked so highly about him last year because he did do so much last year. He was running. He gave me flashes of C.J. Stroud, like they was somewhat on. No, this is unacceptable. Flacco, get in. Take over for the rest of the season because this is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. Don't no lineman that's blocking for you actually come out. And most of the time, a running back, we have watched running back get out, break for 30, 40, 50 yards, and don't want to come out. Don't want to come out, but their coach, like, man, come get you some oxygen. Come on, bruh. Come on, bruh. The game is tight. The game is close to where it was, and you want to come out? No, man, that's unacceptable. So, I'm not with it. I'm not with it.
You're the leader. You're the leader of that team. These guys look up to you, man. I mean, how do you expect them to feel in the next game? What you abandoned us when we needed you the most, dog. That's right. You abandoned us when we needed you the most, man. You are our leader. We look up to you to move us and get us to the promised land. You're supposed to be the dude to take us to the Super Bowl. This is what we're hoping for. And you leave us in the middle of a crucial situation? Man, don't even know if I can trust you no more, dude. You know what? I'm with you. Come on, Flacco. Let's go. Flacco been playing better than him anyway.
He's been playing better than him anyway.
Flacco wasn't there for the rest of the year. If you want a chance to even go somewhere, try to make it to the postseason. So, yeah, Anthony Richardson, man, that was a bad look on you, dog. And all the criticism and everything that you're getting today, and for the rest, you deserve it, bro. You deserve it, man. Because there ain't no way you literally should have got on national television and said you were fired. Come on, man.
These kids have to know their audience. It was so funny because back in the day, you could tell that these kids that was coming up and going up, upgrading their level in the profession that they're coming from, going to the next level. I mean, you can tell back in the day that they were coached on how they present themselves to the media. It's too much new media going on. All these kids today, and I still call them kids, but like you said, he's only like 22. They don't care. They don't care. But then they want somebody to feel sorry for them when their career don't go the way they thought it was going to go. That play could have got you guys over 500, kept you guys over 500. Now you're at 500, 4-4. You let the Texans scrape away with a win. They move on to 5-2, and they didn't play the best ball themselves. They had a chance. I'm disgusted. I don't even have too much more to say about it, because if that was Kirk Cousins, I would want him out of here.
Right. We'll move on, man. We'll tap away from a little bit of football, man, because we got some other sports, man. We got to dive into this one right here. World Series. World Series talk, man. We got the LA Dodgers. They lead the series right now, 2-0 over them New York Yankees. Now we both picked the Dodgers to win this World Series. And it looks like our pick is about to come true. Now we ain't gonna. What they did in LA was take care of business. They held serve. Now, if New York goes back to New York in this series starting tonight and they hold serve, then you never know. This series could swing. Do you expect the New York Yankees to win this Game 3 tonight?
I'm leaning towards them. I believe the Dodgers they're going to leave out of there with one of the two games. But this Game 3, I believe the Yankees are going to come out hitting. You don't have no reason. You don't have no choice, because if you drop this game, the series is over with.
Other than Juan Soto and Giancarlo Stanton, they ain't really been doing much. Aaron Judge has been, I don't know where he is. There's an APB out looking for that cat right now.
I know where he is. On a disgusted bus.
He is not hitting the ball whatsoever, man. I don't know what's up with Aaron Judge, but I know one thing. If the New York Yankees are going to win Game 3, Aaron Judge going to have to show up tonight, man. He's going to have to show up tonight. So, what you think? You think he's going to show up? You said you think the Yankees going to win?
Yeah, he's going to have to show up. I don't know if he would show up, but somebody in the Yankees uniform needs to show up. And it got to be better than just their pitching staff. It's not like they're getting blown out in these games by the Dodgers. The game's been close. So it's not the pitching staff. They're not hitting the ball. They're just not hitting the ball. Like I said, it could be them flying across country, but that's part of it. That's part of it. Flying across country. Y'all don't play almost 200 games in the season, so flying across country shouldn't be a problem. I believe this is just too big of a stage for Aaron Judge right now. Great player, just too big of a stage right now. Too much pressure right now. And sometimes pressure don't make diamonds. They crack them. And that's what I feel like he's just cracking under the pressure. The microscope is on him. He had the spotlight on him. And it's hot. And he's trying to get out the kitchen. But I love it for my boy, Freddie Freeman. He's rocking it, knocking home runs out and doing what he's supposed to do. He did. Him and Hernandez did hit back-to-back home runs in Game 2 the other night. So I'm excited to see a fellow, a native Atlanta Brave, go to another organization, and a former native Atlanta Brave go to another organization and crushing it. So big ups to Freddie Freeman. Keep doing your thing, man. I want to see you tonight hit another home run. And our takes accountability.
Hey, he shows so much clutch gene in Game 1 that I love, man. Freddie Freeman struggled at the plate all the way up until the bottom of the 10th inning. And then they get to the bottom of the 10th, they get that man on, and then Ohtani pops out and go in foul territory. And that dude, the third play, he made a hell of a play, catching that ball, falling over the fence, and then throwing it back in there. He made a hell of a catch, man, to keep him and keep him in chance to win that game in Game 1. Mm-hmm. But then what they do, they walk Mookie Betts to load the bases. Mm. Now I understand you didn't want to do that lefty-righty matchup against Mookie Betts, and I don't blame you. So you probably take your chances with that lefty and lefty with Freddie Freeman. And Freddie made him pay for that first fastball.
Hey.
Man, he turned on that fastball and then lifted that bat in the air, man. And I just was like, oh, snap. That's it. Grand slam. Game over. Yankees got all the the Dodgers got all the momentum. The Yankees thought they had won the game, because they took the lead in the top of the 10th. But you could never count out the Dodgers. Them boys got bats, man. And then in game 2, like you said, back-to-back home runs from Hernandez and Freddie Freeman, man. And it's they did what they supposed to do, and then they just turned it up. It looked like the Yankees just quit later on in that game, in game 2. And they better come out fighting in game 3. Because if they lose tonight, you might break out the brooms in New York tomorrow, straight up.
Most definitely. The one thing I can say, and I'm going to put this out there, would it be in game 3, down 2-0? New York Yankees is favored to win this game, 60%, 60 to their 40. So it's gonna be interesting. I believe they're bringing out a pitcher tonight that should be able to put them in good position or whatnot, and Clark and whatnot. But like you said, I agree with you. They lose tonight. I don't know about the sweep, but it will be in people's hands. The broom, that is, will be in certain people's hands. So I agree with you on that one, Mr. GPG.
All right, man. Unless you got anything else?
Well, one thing before we do get out of here, because we are going to get out of here, I was definitely looking forward to seeing Ohtani and Aaron Judge, clash of the Titans. And they both just haven't lived up to hype. So you guys in the comments, I want you to comment on what you guys feeling about this World Series. Is this World Series living up to the hype? All the other playoffs were pretty much high commodity on TV. They had high viewings. I don't believe that baseball, the World Series anyway, because of the two stars, we thought the Titans, we thought it was going to clash. They're not playing at their best. What you guys take on the World Series? I want to hear from you guys who sit back and watch the show. Chime in the comments. Let us know about the World Series. What you guys think? Who you think gonna take it? And has it been one of the best or one of the worst Dodgers and Yankees World Series matchup? So you guys chime in on that. But other than that, Mr. GPG, that's it. It's been a great take. You guys chime back in with us in a couple of days. We will be talking to you guys about the upcoming games in college and in the NFL and whatever happens with this Dodgers and Yankees series. Again, we're both with those Dodgers. Freddie Freeman going to make me proud. You already know what time it is. Yeah, that
Brewers out. If they don't win tonight, boy, we're going to break the
Brooms
out.
Going to definitely be out there. The Brooms will be out there. But other than that, you guys know what time it is. At this time, we're going to go ahead and end the show. You guys, we want you to like this thing, comment always, and subscribe. And share this video, man. We appreciate all the support. And our subscribers is constantly going up with every show that we put out. And all of them might not be great. We just two black men that love the game of sports, and we like to talk about it, so we just bringing you our take. So we appreciate y'all liking and subscribing and just, wanting to hear our input in anyway on what we think and some of the stuff that we seen. So again, if anything else, you guys know we love you. That's your host over there, Mr. GPG.
And that's your host right there, Mr. MP80Baby.
And this is
our take on sports.
Boom. And holla at you.
All right. Peace.
AMP, what they talking about? They talking about what? They talking about sports. Oh, really? Well, this is ours. Out on the field, the ball on no courts. They wanna talk about sports. They need a resource where they can come talk about sports. They really be talk, but we know the facts. Stacks, yeah, that's where it's at. We the hottest on the map. And this is take on, take on. This is take on, take on. Yeah, they need to be sourced. We got you, just make up the choice. Who out here making that noise? This our take on sports. This is take on, take on. This is take on, take on. This is take on, take on. This is take on, take on sports.